Détachez votre ceinture, soulevez la partie supérieure de la boucle. Il est strictement interdit de fumer dans l'avion, y compris dans les toilettes.
This is a no-smoking flight, and it is strictly prohibited to smoke in the toilet.
Le portrait sans retouche de l'homme auquel j'appartiens. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, il me parle tout bas. Je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose. Il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. Il est pour moi, moi pour lui dans la vie. Il me l'a dit, l'a juré pour la vie. Et dès que je l'aperçois, alors je sens en moi mon cœur qui bat.
Hey guys, Tom here. How's everybody doing tonight? So this evening, one of my favorite comfort scents that I just like for the sake of liking it. It's not one that I have to think real hard about. I just like it because it's warm and enveloping and beautiful. Van Cleef and Arpels Midnight in Paris. So that's what I'm going to get into this evening. I wanted to do one that I didn't have to think too hard about, that I just like for the sake of liking. Like I said, I've got some pretty heavy hitters coming up to do reviews on, two in particular, very heavy hitters. Any guesses on what those would be? That would be kind of fun if you guys want to guess on what they are down below, and I will tell you in the comments whether or not you're right or wrong. That'd be just kind of fun and cool. But the clips, the outtakes at the beginning were all from various trips to Paris. I've been there a lot of times, and every time it is new and different and exciting. So I just thought that would fit the theme of tonight's review. It's absolutely, Paris is I think one of my three top cities, 3 or 4. Kyoto, Japan, Hong Kong, China, Paris, Venice is another one that's just awesome. Hong Kong is just loud and colorful and boisterous and fun, and Kyoto, quiet, respectful, reserved, stunning, and steeped in history. Venice, spectacular beauty, and then the love of my life, Paris. I've been there a bunch of times, like I said, and each time it's new and exciting and different. So we're going to get into Midnight in Paris this evening from Van Cleef and Arpels. I have the Eau de Parfum. I also want to mention there are several reviewers that deserve a mention, all fairly new, and I think they are all fantastic. I'm going to put the links down below to those 3 or 4 who I think are great, and if you would check them out, I would appreciate it. They need support, as we all do, and it's hard to get into the reviewing game, so the more views and the more thumbs up that they get, the better. Just let them know I sent you, and do me a favor and give them a thumbs up, because they're doing a great job. So this evening, Van Cleef and Arpels Midnight in Paris. So, what does Midnight in Paris smell like? Not this Midnight in Paris, but the real Midnight in Paris. It depends on which section of Paris you're in. Parisians are notoriously late night people, so the midnight hour of the city is still fairly active, but like I said, it depends on where you're at in Paris at midnight. If you're around the Montparnasse area, and the seafood area like Le Dome, the seafood bistro, it smells like the remnants of ice and raw shucked seafood from the poissonnière, or the outdoor little seafood stands where they sell the seafood and they on the sidewalk, and the rich, beautiful smell of brown butter and sole meunière from Le Dôme. So in the Montparnasse area, it smells like fish. If you're around the Eiffel Tower area, Champ de Mars, in that area, the smell that I always get when I'm around there is just because of the Eiffel Tower, and from that clip at the beginning, every hour on the hour it does that fireworks sparkly really cool thing at night where all the lights go off. But that reminds me of the smell of an old copper penny, because when you're climbing the stairs of the Eiffel Tower and holding the rails or touching the actual side and the metalwork, your hands turn orange and it smells like loose change. So that's what the Eiffel Tower area reminds me of. In the La Haye area around Rue Coquillier, again, seafood, but what always comes to mind for me is the smell of roast, crackling pork skin. Big foodie here, as you know. So right on Rue Coquillier is Au Pied des Cochons, which is extremely famous restaurant specializing in roast pig's feet with béarnaise sauce and fabulous crepe Suzette. So that's the smell that I think of when I think of that area. So what does that have to do with the fragrance Midnight in Paris? Nothing. I just like talking about Paris. So Midnight in Paris, the fragrance comes in both eau de parfum and eau de toilette concentrations. This is the eau de parfum, absolutely gorgeous bottle. Again, like that smoky midnight blue color with silvery looking star-like constellations throughout the bottle. This is the 125 ml, and it has the silver band with Midnight in Paris, Van Cleef and Arpels inscribed up at the top on the sides, and midnight blue box to go along with that. So I can't necessarily speak to the eau de toilette concentration. I know that some people prefer it, some people prefer the eau de parfum. I have the eau de parfum, so that's what I'm going to be talking about this evening. It's a bit more expensive than the eau de toilette, but they're both, now that it's been out for a little bit, they're both can be found at a fairly reasonable price. I got mine at FragranceNet on sale with a discount, so not badly priced at all. If you want to see a good review on this one that's fairly new, Scent Times, the channel is called Scent Times Claudio. Claudio's review of this is excellent, and he's one of the ones that I mentioned down below. So very, very good review on this scent. So we're talking about 2010 launch here. The perfumiers behind this were Olivier, Polge, and Domitille Bertier. They also collaborated on Flower Bomb, and Olivier Polge, famous for Dior Homme, of course. The notes in this are lemon, bergamot, rosemary, green tea, lily of the valley, black tea, styrax, wood notes, tonka bean, benzoin, leather, and leather accords. I think it's a fairly linear fragrance. What you smell at the beginning is kind of pretty much what you smell toward the end. Like I said, it's a rich, comforting scent. In my opinion, and this is Midnight in Paris pour homme for men, I'm not real sure about that. I think it's Midnight in Paris pour anyone. I don't know why this is tailored just to men. Yeah, it's very unisex to me, and I don't think a woman would have any problem whatsoever wearing this. Biggest comparison that I hear to this is Bulgari Black, which is I definitely can see. It's a kind of like a Bulgari Black without the smoky / rubber note, in my opinion. So if you're not crazy, I like that about Bulgari Black, but if you're not crazy about that rubber, like tire kind of note, I like kind of odd smells and I enjoy that about it. But if you like Bulgari Black and don't like that rubbery smell, this might be right up your alley. So what it seems like Polge and Bertier have done here is they've kept some of the intensity and the darkness of Bulgari Black, but they've wrapped it in more, I would say, soft, powdery, vanilla-like notes. This fragrance to me is all about the vanillic / tonka notes. It almost is close to being gourmand because of the sweet tonka in it. And that noise you hear behind me, forgive me, but Spike is wailing on a rawhide that's like this big behind me now. And the funny thing is, by the time I am done with this video, it's this frickin' big. He'll be done. He will eat that whole thing by the time I'm done. I don't know. His mouth is like a chainsaw. Unbelievable. So when you first smell it, you get a blast of lemon and kind of citrus and a little bit of the green tea. And there's a little of that lily of the valley, just very slight. And then that tonka / benzoin starts to emerge, and that remains from the top almost all the way through to the end. There's a light leather accord to it, but it's mostly about, I would say, the tonka and benzoin. So very vanillic, like I said, just verging almost on the gourmand. And what's kind of interesting is that Polge, I think, took like the masculine notes in this, the leather accord, the wood notes, the black tea, and he wrapped them in more femininely leaning accords, the lily of the valley, the light vanilla. So it's almost like a masculine wrapped in feminine notes, and that's why I said it's to me perfectly unisex, perfectly wearable by either a man or a woman. There's some soft, like balsam type notes in it, but you get that floral green freshness at the beginning, and then the tonka really kicks in, and a light leathery musk accord. It's powdery also. I would not say baby powdery, but it has that kind of powdery aspect to it that some of the softer male fragrances have. It's very warm, I would say, and comforting. It's got like that almondy, chocolatey feeling that you get with some tonka, and like almost like a cinnamon kind of vanillic feel that you get from benzoin. I would say probably most people would tend to gravitate toward this summer evenings, spring, fall, and winter, day and evening. I would say it's perfectly suitable for any age group, and any occasion, really. It does tend to be on the sweet side. It's a rich fragrance, and like I said, I'm sorry I can't give you a comparison to the Eau de Toilette, but the Eau de Parfum projection and longevity for me it lasts at least 8 hours on me, and what you're left with at the end of the day is kind of that sweet tonka / musk base, which is very nice. And sillage, I would say, is adequate. I wouldn't do any more than probably one spray to the wrist, and or one spray to either wrist and one spray to the back of the neck. Just a beautiful, well-made scent at a fair and decent price. Like I said, if you're a fan of Bulgari Black, I would think that this would definitely be for you, without that kind of smoky, rubbery accord that comes with more of the Bulgari Black scent. But it does have that raw sweetness of the tonka mixed with the light lily of the valley and the citrus at the top. So that is Midnight in Paris. Let me know what you guys think. I think it is just an exceptional fragrance. Have a good night, guys.